Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha Atha Trayodashodhyayaha Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga. Arjuna Uvacha Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetram Kshetrajnameva cha Yetat Veditumichhami Jnanam Jneyam cha Keshava. Arjuna said, Prakriti, that is matter, and Purusha, that is spirit, also Kshetra, that is the field, and Kshetrajna, that is the knower of the field, and the knowledge which has to be known. These I wish to learn, O Krishna. Note, this shloka is not found in several of the editions or manuscripts available. Therefore, including this shloka, total shlokas in Bhagavad Gita is 701. But without this shloka, it will be total 700. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetramityabhidhiyate Etadyo Vetti Tam Prahuhu Kshetrajna iti tadvidaha. The Blessed Lord Sri Krishna said, This body, O Arjuna, is called Kshetra or the field, and he who knows it is called Kshetrajna or the knower of the field by those sages who know of them. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetrajnayor jnanam yattajnanam matam mama. O Arjuna, understand that I am the knower of all fields. It is my opinion that knowledge of the kshetra or field as well as kshetrajna or the knower of the field is true knowledge. Tat kshetram yaccha yadrikcha yad vikari yatascha yat sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena me shrunu. Now hear from me in brief about what that kshetra or field is, and of what nature it is, and what are its modifications, and where its origin is, and also who he is and what his powers are. Rushibhir bahudha geetam chandobhir vividhai prithak Brahma Sutra Padaishchaiva Hetu Madbhir Vinishchitaihi. Rishis have sung about Kshetra and Kshetrajna in many ways, in various distinctive chants. It is also explained in Brahma Sutras decisively and with full reasoning. Note, Brahma Sutra was written by Badarayana or Vedavyasa. It contains 555 sutras in 4 chapters, mainly about the nature of human existence and universe, and also the ideas and concepts of ultimate reality called Brahman. Mahabhutanyahankaraha Buddhiravyaktameva cha Indriyani dashaikam cha Panchachendriya gocharaha. The kshetra or the field is made up of the great elements, ego, intellect, and also the unmanifested, the 10 senses, and the one, and the 5 objects of the senses. Note, the 5 great elements that is being referred in this shloka are earth, air, fire, water, and ether. The 10 senses being referred to here are the 5 sense organs of perception and the 5 sense organs of action. Now, the 5 sense organs of perception are the eyes, the ear, the skin, tongue, nose, and the 5 organs of actions are the hands, feet, mouth, reproductive and excretory organs. And the one that is being referred in the shloka refers to the mind, which controls everything. And finally, the 5 objects of the senses refers to seeing, listening, touching, smell, and taste. Ichha dvesha sukham dukkham sanghataschetana dhritihi etat kshetram samasena savikaramudahrtam. Desire, hatred, pleasure, pain, body, intelligence, firmness. In this way, what makes up Kshetra or the field and its modifications are briefly described. Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyopasanam shaucham sthairyam vinigraha. Note: the next 5 shlokas, including this shloka, describes in detail the qualities of Kshetrajna or the knower of the field. Humility, unpretentiousness or being simple and not showing off, non-violence, forgiveness, uprightness or being virtuous, service to the teacher, purity, steadfastness or being very firm, self-control. Indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam. Indifference to the objects of the senses and also absence of ego. Reflection and insight into the evils of birth, death, old age, sickness and sorrow. Asaktirana bhishwangaha putradara gruhadishu nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanistopapattishu. Non-attachment, freedom from self-identification with son, wife, home. This can also be interpreted as absence of excessive love for a child, wife, home, etc. Constant even-mindedness or balance of mind in both desirable and undesirable circumstances. Mai chananya yogena bhaktiravyabhicharini vivikta desha sevitvam aratir jana samsadi. Unshakable devotion to me by yoga without any other, resorting to solitary places, distaste for the society of men or absence of enjoyment in crowd or gathering. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam tattva jnanartha darshanam etat jnanamiti proktam ajnanam yadatonyatha. Constantly involved in gaining knowledge of the self or adhyatma, realization or understanding the true essence and purpose of knowledge. All these qualities are declared to be true knowledge, and anything other than this is called ignorance. Jneyam yat tat प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वामृतमश्नुते अनादिमत्परं ब्रह्म न सत्तन्नासदुच्यते. Now I will declare that which has to be known, knowing which one enjoys the nectar of immortality. It is the beginningless Supreme Brahman, which is called neither being nor non-being. Sarvatah panipadam tata sarvatokshishiromukam sarvatah shrutimaloke sarvamavritya tisthati. With hands and feet everywhere, with eyes, heads and mouth everywhere, with ears everywhere, he exists in the world, enveloping or pervading all. Sarvendriya gunabhasam sarvendriya vivarjitam asaktam sarvabhrachaiva nirgunam gunabhoktrucha. Shining by the functions of all the senses and yet without the senses, unattached and yet supporting everything, free from gunas or qualities and yet enjoying the gunas. Note, the gunas or qualities here refer to the three gunas, sattva, rajasa and tamasa, which is declared in the coming chapters in more detail. Bahirantascha bhutanam acharam charameva cha sukshmatvat tadavigneyam durastham chantike cha tat. The Brahman exists outside and within all beings. It is immovable and yet moving. It is impossible to understand because it is very subtle or difficult to detect and analyze. It is far away yet near. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam bhuta bhartru cha tajñeyam grasishnu prabhavishnu cha. Undivided and yet the Brahman exists as if divided in beings. This is to be known as the supporter of all beings, the devourer or the destroyer and the creator. Jyotishamapi tajyotihi tamasah paramuchyate jnanam jneyam jnanagamyam hrudi sarvasya vishthitam. That Brahman, the light of all lights, is said to be beyond darkness. It is knowledge, the knowable, the goal of knowledge, seated in the heart of all beings. Iti kshetram tatha jnanam jneyam choktam samasataha madbhakta etad vijñāya madbhava yopapadyate. In this way, Kshetra, that is the field, as well as the knowledge and the goal of knowledge, has been briefly stated by me. Understanding this, my devotee enters into my being. Prakritim purusham chaiva vidyanadi ubhavapi vikaramscha gunamschaiva vidhi prakriti sambhavan. Know that both matter, that is Prakriti, and spirit, that is Purusha, are both without beginning. Also know that all modifications and qualities or gunas arise from Prakriti. Karya karana kartritve hetu prakritiruchyate Purusha sukha dukkhanam bhoktritve heturuchyate. While matter or Prakriti is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects, Purusha is said to be the cause of experiencing pleasure and pain. Purusha prakristho hi bhunte prakritijan gunan karanam gunasangosya sadasad yoni janmasu. The Purusha, which is seated in Prakriti, experiences gunas born of Prakriti. Attachment to the gunas causes birth in good and evil wombs. Upadrastanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwaraha paramatmeti chapyuktaha dehesmin purusha paraha. The Supreme Purusha, or the Supreme Person that resides in this body, is also called as the Witness, the Permitter or the Approver, the Supporter, the Enjoyer, and the Great Lord, the Supreme Self. Ya evam vetti purusham prakritim cha gunai saha sarvatha vartamanopi nasa bhuyo bhijayate. He who knows the Purusha and Prakriti in this way together with the gunas, regardless of the condition he may be, he is not born again. Dhyanenatmani pashyanti kechidatmanam anye sankhena yogena karma yogena chapare. Some by meditation see the Supreme Self within themselves. Other by the yoga of knowledge or Sankhya Yoga, and others through Karma Yoga see the Supreme Self within themselves. Anye tveva majanantaha shrutva upasate tepi chati tarantyeva mrityum shruti parayanaha. Others who are not familiar with this knowledge or who are ignorant of this, they, having heard this from others, start to worship. They too cross beyond death regarding what they have heard as the supreme or highest refugee. Yavat sanjayate kinchit sattvam sthavara jangamam Kshetra Kshetrajna Samyogat tadvidhi bharatarshabha. Whenever any creature is born, whether it is unmoving or moving, know this, O Arjuna, that it is born from the union between the Kshetra or the field and the Kshetrajna or knower of the field. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishthantam parameshwaram vinashyatsva vinashyantam yah pashyati sapashyati. He who sees the Supreme Lord existing equally in all beings as the imperishable among the perishable, he sees truly. Samam pashyanti sarvatra samavasthitam ishwaram nahinasthyatmanatmanam tato yati param gatim. Indeed, he who sees the same Lord existing equally everywhere, he does not destroy the self by the self, and therefore he goes to the highest goal. Note, the last part can also be interpreted as he does not allow his self or himself to be degraded, and therefore he attains the supreme goal. Prakrityaiva cha karmani kriyamanani sarvashaha yah pashyati tathatmanam akartaram sapashyati. One who sees that Prakriti alone performs all the actions while the self remains actionless, he truly sees. Yada bhuta prithag bhavam ekasthamanupashyati tata eva cha vistaram brahma sampadyate tada. When the person sees the several varieties of beings in existence as seated in the one and spreading forth from that one alone, he then becomes united with the Brahman. Anaditvan nirgunatvat paramatmayam avyayah sharirasthopi kaunteya na karoti na lipyate. Having no beginning and without qualities or gunas, this imperishable Supreme Self, although seated in the body, O Arjuna, neither acts nor is tainted. Yatha sarvagatam saukshmyat akasham nopalipyate sarvatravasthito dehe tathatma nopalipyate. As the all-pervading space or akasha is not tainted because of it being subtle or being difficult to detect and analyze, so too the self seated everywhere in the body is not tainted. Yatha prakashayatyekah kritsnam lokamimam ravihi kshetram kshetri tatha kritsnam prakashayati bharata. Just as the one sun illuminates the whole world, so does the Lord of the field or Paramatma illuminates the whole Kshetra or field, O Arjuna. Kshetra Kshetrajna Yorevam antaram jnana chakshusha bhuta prakriti moksham cha ye vidur yanti te param. Those who with their eye of knowledge realize this difference between Kshetra and Kshetrajna and also understand the liberation of beings from Prakriti, they go to the Supreme. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yogo Nama Trayodashodhyayah.